What's going on? Good evening, everybody. It is Thursday, August 20th, 7:35 in the PM, 2020. So, how's everybody doing today? How's your Thursday? How's your week going? I hope everybody's doing well. There is, you know, on a daily basis, there's a news cycle that requires that I get involved immediately. And my job, or my responsibility, not my job, but my responsibility is to come on here, cut through all the BS, and basically bring the truth. That's what I want to do. I want to bring the facts, I want to bring the truth, and that's my number one priority. But when I see things like the Democrat National Convention and the complete and utter and blatant lies that are going on by both. You got Clinton the night before last, you had Obama last night, and just the fact that nobody controls what people say these days is completely unacceptable. That two people that were the leaders of the free world can look at a camera that is facing out to the American public and the world and just give out blatant lies. But we'll get to that in a couple of minutes. I want to talk about this scumbag in Portland, the guy that got pulled out of his truck and beaten to a pulp and kicked in the head, all for protecting a trans person. Let that sink in. This scumbag named Marquise Love, 25, he has been arrested numerous times, and he's the suspect that they're looking for. He's the one that landed that vicious kick in that gentleman's head when he was kind of on his knees trying to get his composure, and this kid comes out of nowhere and kicks him in the head and leaves him there to die. Thank God. The man is on his way to recovery. He's doing better, according to his family, so thank God for that. But they need to catch this Marquise Love and prosecute him to the fullest extent of the law. But we know that's not going to happen, especially not in Portland. It's... I don't know what to say anymore. I mean, it's way past dereliction of duty. It's way past these mayors not doing what they're supposed to do and not keeping their people safe. This is just complete and utter abandonment. The leaders, the so-called leaders, have abandoned these people. And it's a shame because these anarchists, these savages, these animals have taken over the city. I mean, listen, only in a place like Oregon can this scumbag live. He was arrested twice alone in 2012, once for second-degree theft and again for interfering with public transportation, criminal trespass. He's gotten charged with transfer of a firearm, domestic assault, criminal trespass. This kid got a rap sheet, but he's running around the streets of Portland supposedly for this terrorist organization, Black Lives Matter, and he does stuff like pull out white people and beat them to within an inch of their life, and that's acceptable. We're on tonight's day 4 of the Democratic National Convention. Not one of these people have condemned the violence going on in these cities. So please. But we do have to tolerate people like Slick Willie, Bill Clinton, and Barry coming on and just, for lack of a better word, completely shitting on President Trump. And I'm sorry, I don't usually curse. I don't like to curse. But I'm done with these two. I am done with Barry, and I'm done with Slick Willie. Obama has the balls to come on camera and basically just sit there and say that President Trump is a do-nothing president. President Trump, The man that sleeps probably 2 to 3 hours a day, he's the do-nothing president. President Trump, who flies to 5, 6 different locations a day to see American citizens, to see constituents, to see how the American people are getting along. I never saw Barry do this. All I saw Barry do was pander to every single one of our enemies. The countries that hate us, he'd bow, he'd kneel, he'd do whatever needed to be done. He was in their pocket. All he did was sell out America piece by piece in every single year of his presidencies. All 8 years. Him and Half-Dead Joe did nothing but sell this country out. And he wants to go on national TV, on global TV, and say these things. And it's acceptable to say it. It's okay to say it. But when President Trump trashes these people, when he trashes Obama and people like Clinton, he gets excoriated by the mainstream media. I mean, please, it is complete garbage. It's nonsense. It's been researched. Barack Obama has a total of 1,063 failures as a president. 1,063 failures. Obviously, this isn't long enough for us to go into all of them, but I narrowed it down to his top 10 hits. So, number 1, he carried out military intervention in Libya without congressional approval. In June 2011, U.S. Congressman Dennis Kucinich, a Democrat out of Ohio, said that Obama had violated the Constitution when he launched military operations in Libya without congressional approval. In 2014, Ralph Nader said that Obama should be impeached for his actions in Libya. That's just one thing. Next, number 2, he gave a no-bid contract to Halliburton to the Halliburton cronies, just like Bush did. In May 2010, it was reported that the Obama administration had selected KBR, a former subsidiary of Halliburton, for a no-bid contract worth as much as $568 million through 2011, just hours after the Justice Department had said it would pursue a lawsuit accusing the Houston-based company of using kickbacks to get foreign contracts. So that's another thing he did. He had an administration full of lobbyists after promising on both campaigns that he would not have any lobbyists. He has close ties to Wall Street, but pretends to support Occupy Wall Street. Do you guys know how many millions go in the coffers of the Democrats from Wall Street alone? From Wall Street alone. It's an obscene amount of money. And Barack Obama was bought and paid for by Wall Street. Next, he broke his promise to close Guantanamo Bay. That speaks for itself. Number 6, he supported the $700 billion TARP corporate welfare bailout just like Bush did. While Senator Obama voted for the $700 billion TARP bank bailout, the bailout rewarded irresponsible and illegal behavior. It redirected resources from more productive uses to less productive uses. Next, he waged the biggest war against medical marijuana of any president. Hold on a second. Let's get to the comments here. Chris is chiming in. You can say what you want, but I'm sorry. I went through 2 times of this BLM bullshit, and I won't back down. I hate the fact that I am saying this, but it amazes me that I am more racist now than I ever was in my life. When are the white people going to wake up and fight back? Chris, on November 3rd. On November 3rd. You got this trans testicle, Michael Obama, going on TV, just completely flat out lying. And she's out here talking about when they go low, we go high. I have yet to see the Democrat Party go high on anything other than the amount of money that they steal from the American taxpayers. So I don't want to hear that bullshit anymore about the Democrat Party, like they're the party for the people. They're the party for the American citizens. They're the ones that care. They don't give a fuck about the American people. And that just goes, you could see it with all of their actions. All of their actions prove it. With Nancy sending all of Congress home instead of negotiating round the clock for a stimulus to help the American people. No, instead she went home to her mansion and sent all the other ones nice and comfy with their $170,000 a year salary. Pennies compared to what they steal. Pennies compared to what they steal. And they got the balls to go on TV pointing the finger at President Trump. They hate President Trump because they can't control him. Charles says Michelle Obama flat out lied. During Obama's years in office, he used more cages than they did in all of the 16 seasons of The Deadliest Catch. No shit. Absolutely, Charles. He's the one that implemented it. He's the one that pushed it. And when he was in office, nobody had a problem with it. I didn't see one goddamn story about the cages when Barry was in office. And they want to tell me that the mainstream media isn't bought and paid for? Listen. I speak for the majority of the American people, the common sense American people, when I say, Nancy, Chuck, fuck the both of you. We're done with you. In all of your years in office, neither one of you and all of your cronies have done absolutely nothing but blame Republicans for your failures. What was that meme that I got today? I posted. 32 years ago, they were doing the same thing to President Reagan. He was the cause of all the world's ills. And now it's President Trump. He's the cause of all the world's ills. You notice that they didn't ride either one of the Bushes too hard? You remember that? I even remember the mainstream media co-signing the war in Iraq, which was the biggest debacle in the history of man. The worst war we could have gotten into. Chris says again, I'm embarrassed that white liberals think it's okay to go to white people's house and say it's okay, throw them out of their houses, but they never donated a single cent. Listen, the first thing I said was, let the white liberals, if they're down for this, let the white liberals give up their houses. There are many, many white liberal billionaires out there, millionaires. Give your houses up. Give your houses up. If you're so down with the cause, give your houses up. I'm not giving mine up. I'm not giving mine up. Let's see what else Barry did wrong. He nominated a 6-time tax cheater to head the government agency that enforced tax laws. Obama nominated Timothy Geithner. Now, do you hear this? A 6-time tax cheat he nominated to head the government agency that enforced tax laws. Nobody talks about this either. Timothy Geithner, repeat tax cheater, he nominated to head the government agency that enforces tax laws. Prior to his nomination, these were Geithner's infractions. Number 1, he illegally failed to pay more than $34,000 in Social Security and Medicare taxes. Number 2, illegally declared the cost of his children's summer camp as a form of daycare. It goes on and on with the transgressions of this guy. Next, Obama also gave tax dollars to AIG executives, then pretended to be outraged by it. This was an Obama special. Do as I say, but not as I do, and we'll be fine. The amount of corruption that went on during the Obama administration should be a goddamn embarrassment to our entire country. But it seems like 50% of the country, if Obama ran tomorrow, they would pull the lever for his slimy ass in a minute. And then, let's put Barry on pause for a minute. Let's talk about Slick Willie, Bill Clinton, right? He goes on the night before last. Now, the fact that they allowed him to speak with all of this controversy swirling around him. Now, let's go through the controversy real quick. He was one of the first people listed on the Lolita Express going to Pedophile Island, one of Jeffrey Epstein's bestest friends. Then, I agree with you, Corey. I hate the name Obama also. Can't stand it. Can't stand it. Obama and Osama, same level for me. They're on the same level for me. So, Bill Clinton was one of Epstein's closest friends and was on the island quite often. And then the day that he's supposed to give his speech, those pictures come out with him getting a massage on the Lolita Express. Wait, what's up, Rich? Rich is on. Let's see what Rich has to say. Oh, what Barry did wrong for $500, please. The GM bailout, which broke about 100 different policies and laws in order to pay back the union only because they endorsed them. Of course, the GM bailouts, the bank bailouts, the fact that he printed money and lowered the value of the dollar by I don't know how many dozens of percentage points back in 2008, 2009. And then you got this rapist, this pedophile. They parade him like he's something to be proud of. Now, he said something. He said that the Oval Office should be considered and treated as a command center. This is Bill Clinton saying that something wrong was done in the Oval Office. Does he think the American people are really that stupid? Do we not remember when he had then 22-year-old intern on her knees under her desk doing forbidden things with a cigar in the Oval Office? Apparently, Monica was on her knees blowing up her career. I don't know. And he has the balls to say that President Trump is doing something wrong in the Oval Office. Let's talk about Willie's transgressions. Now, besides the fact that he lied under oath, right? Completely lied under oath on TV in front of the entire nation to see. About what? About getting a blowjob in the office, in the Oval Office? So what? All he had to do was come on and say, yeah, I did it. It would have been forgotten about. Nobody cares. What did Sonny say in Bronx Tale? Nobody cares. Just tell the truth. Because the way the people looked at him after, and I was a teenager at that time, and I really didn't care much about politics, but even I was able to say, if this guy's willing to lie about something as simple and as stupid as a blowjob from an intern, what else is he willing to lie about? The list is long and distinguished, ladies and gentlemen. It is long and distinguished. So, let's talk about the top 10 fun-loving facts about Slick Willie. Number 1, he was the prison-loving president. Let's see. On the heels of the unrest in Baltimore, which sparked by the Freddie Gray death in police custody, Clinton apologized for locking up too many people. Thanks, Bill. The 2.4 million people in prison and the 160,000 Americans serving life in prison largely because of his policies. His policies might be excused for not accepting Clinton's apology. So there are 2.4 million people in prison because of Bill Clinton and 160,000 of them doing life, which I guarantee you in some way, shape, or form was perpetuated by Kamala Harris. Corey says, I love that someone yelled out during his speech, you're a rapist. Listen, they could yell. Honestly, I think Bill Clinton could commit rape on camera, on CNN, and they would put it on at 8 o'clock right at the same time as Fredo. I have no doubt about it. These people have absolutely no shame, no dignity, no decency, nothing. Nothing at all. I have no doubt what they would do. Let's see what else Bill did. Hey, babe. Mom, Dad, Chris, Rich, Corey, Becky, who else? Olga, hi. Charles. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I'm I'm sorry, I'm really fired up with this nonsense. I can't stand watching. You know, I turn on the Democratic National Convention and I get so mad. I get so mad. Like, I'll nudge my wife. I'm like, babe, look at this bullshit. This guy's lying about this. This one's lying about that. And she looks at me. She's like, I don't care anymore. And I don't blame her. But for me, it's like watching a crazy, crazy car wreck. It's so bad that normal people shouldn't be watching it, but I can't peel my eyes away because I'm just waiting for that next dose of stupidity. And you know, with the Democratic Party, it's just a commercial break away. Let's see, Rich is chiming in. Rich says, I remember vividly during the sham questioning of Justice Brett Kavanaugh live on TV that all the liberals were screaming, all women must be believed, me too. Then you have blatant evidence against chill Bill Clinton, and they parade him out in front of the nation as if nothing happened. Yeah, listen, Rich, the Me Too movement died with Tara Reade accusing Joe Biden because the second Nancy Pelosi said, well, that's just Joe being Joe, they lost all credibility with the Me Too movement. I haven't seen a hashtag Me Too since then because it was all bullshit. Just like every other platform that these scumbags claim to stand on. Everything out of their mouth is a lie. Everything. Everything. Let's see what else Bill did. Punitive welfare reform. The consequences of Bill Clinton's welfare reform bill have been devastating for millions of American families. The Personal Responsibility and Work Opportunity Reconciliation Act of 1996 took a page directly from Republican Speaker of the House at the time, Newt Gingrich's contract with America. In other words, what they claim is that they are for the disenfranchised, the poverty-stricken, the minorities, when in fact their number one priority is to keep that population in shackles, in chains, in handcuffs, whatever, so long as that side of the population stays being reliant on them, stays being dependent on them, and quite frankly, stays being their bitch. Because right now, CNN, MSLSD, New York Slimes, all of them go uncontrolled, completely unregulated, and they are the Democrat Party's bitch like nobody I've ever seen. But then again, I don't see what happens behind the scenes. Can you imagine the complete corporate prostitution that goes on with these people? Chris says, Joe does not even know he's running for president, but he knows what kind of shampoo the 11-year-old girls use. It's sad to say. It's sad and a disgusting, disgusting thing to say. But it's the truth. It's the truth. I mean, listen. Joe Biden right now, there's an open criminal investigation against him in the Ukraine. He's the only candidate for president in the United States that has ran for president with an open criminal investigation going against him. I mean, come on. Listen, I'm done ranting for tonight. I can't deal with these people. These Democrats are slobs. Anybody that supports them, you are all slobs. You guys suck. Any Democrat watching this, you really are the dumbest people on the face of the earth. Either dumb, ignorant, or incompetent. Either way, none of it is good. As usual, I'm going to end this off with a quote. This comes from Eleanor Roosevelt. Do what you feel in your heart to be right, for you'll be criticized anyway. Have a great night, everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow.